Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Virtus Pro versus Mouse Sports. It's the G-1 League North American European qualifiers here at Beyond the Summit. I'm LD, I'm joined by Bruno. And Bruno, I hope that we get to actually cast some Dota here. You said you dodged a bullet with the last series, which must mean that as Ice Frog, you fixed the servers and we're good to go.
Hopefully it is. Yesterday we were casting, we took 10 hours to cast 5 games. And then actually I wake up today earlier and I read your message, but I was really tired. It's like, no, I'm gonna sleep a little bit more, sorry LD. And then when I wake up again, I go to Reddit and I see like, oh yeah, all the problems, technical problems everywhere. So yeah, wow.
You dodged a bullet. You dodged a lot of bullets, Bruno. And since you fixed the servers now, we should be good. I'm trusting you. Guys, you can take a quick look at the draft, but before we do that, let me show you the brackets for this evening. It is going to be Virtus Pro versus Mouse Sports. So the G1 League, basically there's 12 teams. They have a play-in round. This round 1, you have 8 teams. Each of them play a best of 3. Only 4 advance into phase 2. So from this initial group of 8, we get 4. They go into the second phase where Team Liquid, Fnatic EU, Alliance or No Tidehunter, as many of you may know them, and Na'Vi are all waiting directly seeded into the phase farther along. So these are big matches, Bruno. Double elimination once we get to phase 2, but for here, it's single elim for the play-in matches. A best of 3 between Virtus Pro and Mouse Sports. Well, 10 hours to cast 5 games. Hopefully not the case here today. A Mouse Sports team, of course, it has to be mentioned. They're playing without Fata. From what I understand, he broke his hand or his wrist and is out of commission for the foreseeable future.
That's a shame.
At least, I think I read that. Maybe it was on Reddit or a forum. Could be wrong, but he's been missing for quite a few games now.
Yeah, well, let's hope the stand-in is up to par. Farah, their mid player, a key part of their lineup. Probably they'll find something around to actually make it work. But, I mean, they don't have to be scared. They have the anti-mage in black, and that's all they need.
That's very true. It worked for them yesterday versus Na'Vi. They actually had the Phantom Lancer for him, but that was first banned by Virtus Pro, so taking a look back at the way this draft has developed, Virtus Pro, a huge respect ban towards black, defeated Na'Vi 2 games in the best of 3 over in the WePlay.tv Dota 2 League to take that winners bracket finals to advance as a 1 seed out of their group into the playoffs for that event. So Black flexing his muscles in that tournament, and of course showing that this is a team that is solid enough to win without Fata, but of course missing a player of his caliber. One of the better solo mids in Europe for sure, if not, I mean, maybe not quite as consistent as a player like S4, but still a solid and powerful player. Won't be there at their side. Instead, Mouse, they're going to go Turtle, they're going to go for big AoE, and they're going to look to take this late game. If I know Virtus Pro, well, there you go. About to say, look for some aggressive picks. So looking at probably an offensive tri-lane, safe lane Prophet, solo Midnight Stalker. Seeing this before from VP generally seems to work.
Yes, and the most interesting thing when I see VP playing, especially when I know that Erman is going to play Gyrocopter, is what will the build be? Because this is a guy that, when he picks Dragon Knight, he doesn't scale Flame Breath at all. He just doesn't put a single point in it. When he plays Juggernaut, he puts only 1 point on the spin. So when he picks Gyrocopter, will he max homing missile maybe? I don't know.
No, he'll just get all stats. Don't even take the skills. That would be the next level build.
You want all the damage in that Flak Cannon, so Flak Cannon plus stats.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is the missile really sucks on Gyrocopter in like 99% of cases, so... And of course, I've done some good statistical analysis to come up with that number. We'll see, though. And as for Mouse Sports, they're going to pick up a Treant Protector. So expecting the aggression from Virtus Pro, expecting the offensive tri-lane, and picking a support in the Treant that I know Gods would be flaming right now. But I'm going to say it can be a suitable stand-in to help punish that aggression. Won't do much in the tri-lane, but he'll make sure heroes stay alive for longer. And against heroes like Night Stalker and Prophet and Gyro that want to be diving you, that could potentially be game-changing. What do you make of the Triad? Are you in Gods' camp where you think this hero is the worst hero in competitive Dota, or do you feel like he has his place?
I'm really happy. Ice Frog's really happy that people are picking Treant Protector, right? He's a hero that actually won't make a difference by himself. He doesn't really add up much to a fight other than his ultimate. His seal is subpar and probably should be buffed a little bit. But the thing that he's there in the laning phase makes it so that if you actually know how to play the hero, you'll never ever lose the laning phase. Mid is always one. Mid, you're always full health. You don't have to bottle grow, even if you miss a bottle, a rune, as long as you can handle your mana. And no one can jump on you. No one can go diving on your tower, because just one applying just one living armor on a hero makes it immortal for 5-6 seconds.
Yeah, so actually VP going a totally different direction with their final pick and not going for their customary aggression with that safe lane Prophet and basically going for the quad lane bottom where he just TPs in at level 4 or 5 and gets some kills, go for the tower. They're going to go a totally different direction. They go back for the DK. Will be Tame My Wild playing that. It will be the Airman Gyrocopter. I believe this is Sergio? Oh no, sorry, he's playing Night Stalker actually. Illidan Stormrage. So,
wow.
Unless they're messing around with their names here, it looks like some... can we call it a role swap? Looks like more of a support gyro, but just a weird hero to see Illidan on. Normally you'd see this as being something that Tame My Wild would play.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Or crazy.
Actually, who's Sergio?
Yeah, let's double check that. That's a good idea.
Because I think Enes was called Sergei, but...
No, it's ars-art, standing...
Oh, right.
The new member. The new member.
ars-art is called Sergei.
Man,
yeah.
It's hard to get used to the new Virtus Pro, but here it is. So, ars-art, of course, the 5th member.
ars-art is here.
So it is a support gyro, boots first.
That's surprising.
Can be really strong, and against Mouz, I imagine he'll just be doing some roaming, because looking at Mouse's lineup, you wouldn't really expect them to go aggressive triple lane, although as I say that, they do have 3 heroes headed top, so maybe they are.
Maybe they're just scouting. I mean, maybe they knew that they were going... I mean, they expected the aggressive trialing from Virtus Pro, and they're trying to dodge. And Virtus Pro mind game them and go defensive just to dodge the dodge.
Yeah, but the thing is, DK's not really that good in a tri-lane. I mean, the hero, yes, he has a decent stun, but if you have a DK and a Rubik, you don't really have much damage unless it's the Gyrocopter who dishes it all out. So, and Night Stalker, obviously a level-dependent hero. So when you saw that DK pick, if I'm Mouse, I'm thinking they're probably not going aggressive tri-lane.
Wait. That Dragon Knight is going mid. Look at the build.
Yeah, he's saving for a bottle. So that makes sense. It's Tame My Wild, it's crazy. It's pretty much what you expect. Illidan will be getting the safe lane, tri-lane farm. I think we're going to see ars-art as well as NS doing a lot of early roaming and a jungle Prophet. That's what it appears to be.
Yeah.
And
that seems more like it.
As far as the roaming goes, they could kill Koikfa mid. He'll have to be very careful. They have enough burst with a boots first Gyrocopter. If you can get off 2 sets of Rocket Barrage plus the initial stun from a Telekinesis Lift and then a Dragon Knight follow-up, you can kill him. Even with Skewer, he will die. So a pretty potent dual roaming combo. I think this could work for VP.
Yeah, it's all about the vision, and make sure that, of course, there's always the smoke, which bypasses wards, but knowing or trying to know where those roamers are at all times is what will help you play carefully or less carefully as long as you need it. But yeah, I mean, Pass seems to be rotating now. We see a lot of people top, but will it be a trialing with Darkseer, Treant, and Jakiro? Do you think so?
It could be. They're not going to die. Unless they really screw up. Jakiro's tanky, Treant very hard to kill. The tri-lane of VP has some killing power, but with a Night Stalker in the tri-lane, he's not going to be particularly strong there. Although we even see Illidan rotating towards the rune, so VP. I think they have some killing power, but against a Treant, not going to do too much, I imagine. The one thing is Rocket Barrage can actually remove his living armor almost instantly, so it could be fairly worthless in this lane, depending on how the Rocket Barrages actually come out.
Yeah, and the rune spawns bottom, but the Treant denies it, so very well done there. And now we're seeing, yes, a try versus try. I'm a little bit concerned because I don't know what the goal of this trialing is.
I think it's just to give Black a 1v1, but in fact he's going to get an empty lane, so is that worth it, I guess is the question.
Yeah, that's the thing, and those 2 supports, not too good for roaming. Jakiro, Treant are not killing anyone, so... maybe just being a little bit annoying. At the point, I think that if this keeps going like this and no one rotates, they might as well go back to their jungle and pull and try to get some creeps from jungle.
Yeah, they'll actually do a little bit of dewarding here. Fortunately, catching Observer. I'm not even sure if they expected to find one there. Probably just dewarding more of this area. And in the end, VP got to start doing some pulling of their own. So VP basically having 2 heroes abusing the jungle. Currently, Mouse getting nothing out of it. So just on that basis, you would say the trade tends to favor Mouse. Yes, they're getting freeform on Anti-Mage, but overall the support's getting less than what the Anti-Mage will make up for in our estimation. And mid lane, how do you feel about this matchup? Magnus, who's gone for Empower at level 1 just to help him with the last hitting, versus a Dragon Knight, but it's an Airman Dragon Knight. Generally can't pressure the lane the way that you can if you actually go for Or sorry, it's a Tame My Wild Dragonite, but we'll see if he actually goes Flame Breath.
I mean, he still can go. It's not extremely rare to see. Always you see the first point of
That's
the
true.
stun. But then you sometimes see some point in one point in Dragon Blight before actually going 3, 4, 5 in Dragon Breath. But I mean, maybe he's from the Airman school of Dragon Knights and he decides to opt against it. That would be really silly because you want that Dragon Breath to push the lane and get the runes, but
you really need it. He'll go for it. He takes it. So not going for the Airman build, which I think is necessary this game. And when you're mid especially, you need it to contest the runes. You want to be able to bottle Crow Spam. End of the day, that's what works mid lane. So, you know what, Bruno? I just realized did we actually fully introduce the teams? I don't think we ever did for Mouse Sports.
I don't think we did.
So on the side of Mouse Sports, we have Pos, shame on us. Darkseer being handled by Pos. Alex playing the Tramp Protector, still level 1 in the Tri-Lane. SHD, the standing, going to be playing that Jakiro. Towards the solo mid role, it's going to be Koikfa playing that Magnus. Had an up and down performance versus Navi yesterday. Some great games, some truly awful ones due to his matchups. Let's see how he does here. Better matchup for him this time around. It's going to be Black on that safe lane anti-mage, 16-5 already. Wow, that's a lot of creeps.
Yes, and for the side of Virtus Pro, we have KSI as usual on the off lane. In the mid, Crazy, Tame My Wild playing the Dragon Knight. And the tri-lane composed of Sergio, which is actually ars-art on the Gyrocopter, NS on the Rubik, and finally, of course, the farming Illidan, also known as Urban, on the Night Stalker.
Yeah, so VP going defensive tri-lane and trying to make up for that by jungling their Prophet, only to find in the end that Mouse Sports was running a safe lane anti-mage by himself, and he got free farm. He's level 4. KSI is going to be bullied horribly in this lane with an early Poor Man Shield up on Black. He was pulled 2 sets of regen. Black should have total free farm the entire game. All the Nature's Prophet can do is maybe get a creep deny here or there, but he'll have to be very cautious about actually leaving the tower. If he does, that's where Black could potentially look to kill him off. So I think Mouse getting a great trade in that bottom lane. As for VP, they'll have to make up for it with the tri-lane and the solo mid. And as for that, how do you think they're doing?
Well, I don't think the tri-lane will accomplish much in terms of killing. When you have a tree, and Trent is the ultimate defensive hero, and makes it really, really hard for anyone to die. Also, the Surge and the Ice Path, all very defensive spells. They might try to go now, though. And Darkseer is in a very bad position.
Oh, he's got Surge, but we'll see a Nature's Prophet teleport in. Posse's going to surge into the trees. The missile has been applied. He'll tango his way through. But he's still caught. Now eats a missile and thrown up in the air, but the Living Armor, well, immediately removed by Rocket Barrage. As mentioned, not very good against that spell. First blood for VP. They run the defensive tri-lane, but in the end, they get that 4-on-3 situation because Mouse go aggressive. Good news is, while this is happening, Black now gets the lane to himself bottom, and even if Prophet comes back, he'll be farther and farther behind. He's too low even, I feel, to join that lane. Probably gonna have to walk back to base or go jungle, so they get first blood, Bruno, but it is expensive. Black, 28 CS at 4 minutes. 27. That's almost... has he missed a creep? Like, 1 or 2... I guess he's missed 5 creeps so far.
Yeah, he missed creeps when they were at the tower, they were pushing. But, I mean, doing perfect so far. He's really happy of having that. And now he went for something. He bought something. Oh, yeah, full tread.
Oh, wait, has he... Oh, this is the 4-minute wave. So I think I was wrong. I don't think he's actually... Maybe he missed 1. There was 1 denied by the Prophet, I believe. So, yeah, I think it's...
Yeah.
I think my math was wrong. That was actually the 4-minute wave. So, yeah, 1 creep miss so far this entire game. And he's gone treads first, so he can really bully this Prophet. I think this is a very clever decision. Prophet can't even leave the tower. KSI is going to get nothing out of bottom.
And if he sends the treants will die, and there's no way they're doing any damage at all against that Poor Man Shield. Only 22 damage for the treants, 20 damage block. It's pretty much them not doing anything at all.
I would like to see him every time that this Nature's Prophet actually enters the lane, just blink forward, hit him a few times, or even walk forward and do it, but
there
you go. And KSI,
look, ow,
very
that
sad.
Hurts.
Once Black gets Mono Void, he does that once or twice, then he Mono Voids you, you're dead. So if I'm KSI, I don't know what you do, Bruno. You could try and pull the creep wave, maybe you get some experience at your tower, but Black could also dive you there. Are you better off being here or just jungling and actually getting some real farm?
I think at this point he might be considering, okay, I'm going back to the jungle. I have 3 clarities and a Ring of Basilisk, so I can jungle safely until level 6 or something and make something happen. But the problem is, with that anti-mage, Nature's Prophet is going to have a really bad time. And now they think... Where did he go? Yeah, he went to the jungle.
I think it's actually I think it works out for him, because he comes bottom, now he'll go jungle, we'll have initiation on Pos top lane, some more on that later, lift it up, and thrown back towards a rocket, but still able to surge fairly far away. It's a long way to dive. Will they commit to this? Alex charging directly into 3 heroes, maybe he's lagging. no idea why he would run that way. Now SHD on the run. He's going to die as well. Telekinesis cooling down. This is going to be 2 heroes dead in the tri-lane. Black is farming, but this is a lot to give away. They do actually apply the tree on armor. Won't matter with this earn charge. Down he will go. The living armor feeling very ineffective this game. 2 kills. Not sure if we had some lag issues there. Alex not really choosing a wise path otherwise.
Yeah, maybe it was the path thing, as you say, and he just decided, the hero decided to walk that way. The thing is that there's nothing they can do with that trailing. It's really, really weak. I mean, in terms of offensive position, if you are in the right place, yes, of course, a surge, an ice path, and probably a link in armor will help you be alive. But if they're spread like that against an ice stalker that's getting bigger and bigger, and now it's night, and also the leaf from this Rubik, which means that the homing missile will hit you all the time, it's going to be complicated to just keep surviving, and maybe they're considering, okay, we just leave the Darkseer here and make something happen somewhere else.
To return to our discussion earlier about whether he should jungle or not, I think it's kind of a victory for KSI. Black bought these treads thinking that he could really bully the Nature's Prophet. He'll still have a very, very fast Battle Fury, but it could have been so much faster if the Nature's Prophet hadn't been here. When Black saw he wanted to come lane, he said, I'll punish him, but now there's nothing to punish. So he has treads, which don't really do that much for him now. It'll delay his Battle Fury a bit, so I feel like that's a nice little trade for VP in the end, even if it did slow down the farming of KSI a touch. And the tri-lane is doing nothing, but looking at Golden Experience, the 2 solos of Mouz are doing well enough that they're actually leading in terms of gold after giving up a first blood and being down 3 kills. And in terms of experience, they're only down by 750. This is a truly dominant display, particularly from this anti-mage.
Yeah, but as you say that, I look at the net worth, and of course the 2 supports are comparatively much poorer than, especially ars-art, which already has boots and 1,000 gold to his name. So if he wants to go for the arcane boots, he can go for that. If he can save and want to go for something else, he can definitely have, while the supports only have...
Oh no.
Trin doesn't even have boots.
SHD could teleport out right now, but there will be a Rubik lift potentially. He's not going to go for the TP. Now he will. Behind the trees, Night Stalker's hitting him. NS maybe expecting an immediate TP, just decided to farm the neutrals, but in the end, if he had walked there immediately, I believe would have gotten the kill to cancel that TP. So they forced the Twin Head Dragon off the lane, and apparently this is the plan for VP. They're just going to lay Night Stalker bottom now, do anything they can to slow down Black's farm. But he's tanky enough with these treads, having a wand as well. They can try and go, but constant living armor, I don't think they can keep him from farming. Night Stalker's not finding kills either. Call it still a win for Mouz in my book.
Yeah, it is. I mean, at this point, Black there, they had to rotate. It will give some space to the Darkseer, and actually rotating the support's bottom will give them something to do. They can pull, they can just try and farm the jungle a little bit, which is much better than just standing in the aggressive trial and looking completely lost.
So as we head towards the mid-game, Black, he's got his Perseverance or his Claymore. He's not that far off from a Battle Fury. I'm thinking maybe 14 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less at the rate he's going, and if he gets kills, it would be sooner. But rotate 2 supports down. Observer Ward was deployed behind the tower, so this has all been spotted out by VP. Illidan just not really too worried about it. He's kind of sitting just inside of experience range, getting what he can bottom, taking that dangerous farm. Meanwhile, they saw the mag bottom, so now they push mid, and aggressively at that. VP making some smart trades and showing some good movement overall so far this game.
Yeah, and they're sticking to their plan, of course. The tri-lane versus tri-lane was a success. Mid lane, I'm a little bit concerned because after Pyke had said a long time ago that mid lane is a wash and no one really wins or loses mid game, I'm noticing more and more, and I want to care about mid. Like 6 months ago, 1 year ago, we were all watching what would happen mid because that would dictate the flow of the game. But now it's like, yeah, mid is a lane where people will just trade farm.
Pos, top lane. There will be a barrage that's going to remove this living armor very quickly. Pos will get picked off. But you were saying about mid lane.
Yeah, mid lane is like, you can't always tell who won or lost the lane. It's pretty much who gets to level 6 and try to make something happen in the other lane. Of course, Black getting free farm is a big victory for Mouz. But looking at that top lane, the gyrocopter is getting a lot. And as a support, he has 23k. Wow, 2.3k gold.
Wait, say that again. Does he really? Where is this gold coming from? I guess it's just... He might have gotten the first blood.
Yeah, he did.
But still, that's a lot. No towers yet, aside from... Or wait, the mid-tier one. So there was the 1 tower, but that's it.
That's a lot. Like, I've never seen a support that rich. Of course, it's not him who's buying all the wards. It's actually NS buying the wards and the upgrading the courier and everything. But I'm really... Oh, he bought something now. Probably going for full 4 stuff? No. What did he buy?
You know, Mouse is actually, their supports are so underleveled and squishy. Well, even a Triat, I'm going to say even Triat is squishy, because Living Armor won't be helpful this game, and VP does have tons of nuke damage, so they basically have two supports that are walking sacks of gold for Virtus Pro, and I don't know that that's going to change, because Triat does not farm well, so he can't fall back on that, and Twin-Headed Dragon probably won't be taking any of the farm this game, since he seems to be their hard support when it's all said and done. So Mouse are essentially fighting this 3v5. It's not even your 4 protect 1 that Mouse normally run. It's like a 1 protect 4 at this point. Even the Magnus, I mean, yeah, he's farm, but VP are going to throw all their nukes at him, I imagine, to prevent him from getting off a good RP.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all about him getting a proper Blink Dagger. He has a haste rune, so if he wants to TP bottom, he can make something happen. But they're going on an S now, and an S is in tight spot.
Yep, caught behind the trees, the Dragon Tail comes out. Look at that Shakiro just explode. Too easy. Now Black with Living Armor still on him, driven back out of late, up to 2k gold. Looking at a very, very quick Battle Fury. Illidan attempting a dive here, but Koikfa is lurking. They have an Observer War behind the tower. VP sees all, they know all, and they're probably not going to commit to this instead. Just going to sit back. Nighttime will end now. Koikfa may be looking to go. He's got that haster, and will he commit? No, they're too tanky on VP. Happy to usher them away, he'll back off.
That's a little bit of a victory, a little bit of loss there. With that haste rune, he could have done something, but there was nothing he can do. Even if he RPs both the Night Stalker and the Dragon Knight, it's way too much HP to actually kill them. So Black, a little bit hindered on his farm, he'll just go back to that, what he does very, very well.
He's opting to skip Battle Fury. Picks up a Yasha now, going for a combat build. What do you make of this? This is a team that is essentially fighting 3v5, and Black says, I'm going to fight.
Yeah.
What?
And,
I'm not sure that's going to work.
I mean,
I feel like he has to be 4 or 5 slotted the way this game is developing. But what do you think?
he really needs something happening in terms of items for him, but also he knows that his team cannot do anything like just them four. Because if you look at it, what happens? Let's say Magnus get a blink. He gets the perfect RP into an ice bath. Who deals the damage? It's the Darkseer with 2 Ion Shells, maybe? The Treant cannot do damage.
The empowered... what about the empowered anti-mage with a Battle Fury? Not buying it?
Well, the thing is that... I mean, yeah. But if you go Battle Fury, you might as well just keep farming a little bit.
That's
Yasha
true.
makes it so that you can go for a Manta really fast. And 3 anti-mage with one of them empower is more interesting than just one 900 HP anti-mage with a Battle Fury, I guess.
I guess my thinking is, I don't know that he'll be able to fight anyway at this point, since if he... Sure, he's got a Yasha, but he's still sitting on 900 health. Yes, he has Spell Shield. He's not as squishy as he might appear just from his HP pool. But at the end of the day, VP have Silence until he gets Manta Style. He'll have to worry about getting Chain Stun, about getting Silence in the middle of these fights. And I feel like they'll have the damage soon. But I guess enough about that. We'll see what he makes of this Yasha and potentially the early Manta. VP have done an interesting thing. It looks like they're actually giving ars-art a lot of farm priority this game, not just for a little bit as a support, but they're giving him the top blade. Night Stalker for Illidan, moving around the map constantly. It's the one thing with VP that we see that makes them a bit different from some other teams like, say, Mouse Sports, which are pretty rigid with their roles. VP very, very fluid, and we see it here, putting ars-art often that 4 or 5 position support into potentially, as this game goes later, the hard carry role.
Yeah, actually, yes, because Night Stalker, of course, once it gets to very, very late game, he's tanky, but because he's strength and he has no steroid ability, he'll get weaker and weaker. Gyrocopter with a flat cannon, all he needs is some big damage item, and he deals insane amount of damage.
And he's got almost a BKB. Ogre Club as well as Mithril Hammer coming out. Bottom lane, Black looking for potentially a chase on NS, but unfortunately, that support Rubik, one of the most impossible heroes to kill until you get your Manta style. He'll be able to get some experience here.
Especially because he stole Blink.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Kind of hard not to give that away as well.
Yeah.
Cast Monovoid so they can't steal Blink. Next level strategy.
I don't think it's the best, but yeah.
Mid lane, they'll go on Alex now. There's your stun to start, the Void, the silence to follow. And Alex just melts. Treant normally known for being a durable support. Not the case this game.
Not the case. And as I look at the score, I didn't realize it's 0-6. Mouz doesn't have a single kill to their name. And as I say that, Black jumps and kills an S.
And
so,
while that was happening, top lane, they kill off ars-art.
Yeah, there they go. Now they're fighting.
So 2
Pass.
kills happening simultaneously. And actually a spike up in the gold graph. Black still being left unchecked. If he carries this, this is just the hardest carry you will ever see. Considering that he's literally got, again, 2 supports that just can't offer anything. Not even that they're playing badly. That issue aside, whether they're making mistakes or not, doesn't matter. At this point in the game, just not a whole lot they can do. So it all comes down to Black. His farm will be slowed down by the Yasha somewhat, but still pretty much having the lane left to himself, so... I mean, so far, it feels like it hasn't really affected his farm rate. Normally what happens is it slows you down because, you know, you don't go in jungle, but he's just constantly last-hitting the lane, and nobody's been able to drive him off of it.
Yeah, and that's what they're trading for. And I mean, at the end of the day, do you really want to have a super farmed anti-mage when the rest of your team cannot do match? I mean, I'm happy to see that Darkseer has a mech now, and of course Magnus has the Blink Dagger, so they can make something happen in the initiation and also on the sustainability of the fight. But if you don't get Black in there making something happen soon, that Jakiro and Treant, well, I really like those 2 heroes separately. In combination, they make for quite a poor support cast.
Yeah, and especially with this start. They're heroes that generally need a decent start to be effective, and they really rely on that RP to do much. We'll see a Blink Skewer mid. Catches out Tame My Wild, crazy, in a lot of trouble now. Black slicing away at him. He's got a Mono Void. I think should be able to pick up the kill here, but Tame My Wild will pop his Magic Wand, a Blink forward. It looks like VP are going to sack this Dragon Knight. Not actually the case. They will continue chasing. Now the stun on Black, just lacking in terms of that damage. You will be given some living armor. He'll blink forward. Still diving crazy, but on the other side of the fight is our Jakiro, who will be in a bit of a pickle here. The missile still chasing him. Will they die for this? The Prophet Ultimate will connect as well as the missile. Cooldown comes in. SHD will fall. The gold collected. The sack opened up. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbows there. A blink one way, but a vacuum takes Sergio the other. In the end, Black will arrive. Looks like they'll pick up the kill. So when it's all said and done, they trade that gyro for their twin-headed dragon. But the other factor is Virtus Pro get a tier 1 bottom in exchange.
Yep. Maybe even a tier 2 if they don't care. No, here comes the defense. Of course, no RP. Actually, no mana for RP on Magnus. But they don't know that, so maybe they're chasing right now, scared of the RP. Look at Black.
Yeah, Black. Full HP this entire game. Just living armor spam, Yasha chase. KSI looks to be in a lot of trouble. Skewer here and some auto attack should be enough to bring him down. Still running. The Void is there, but just relentless aggression, and they'll catch 2 with the Skewer. Has the stick charges, could pop his Arcane Boots after that, but still, and does both, but still actually short. And they'll go the other direction instead. They'll go back for the Night Stalker. Are they gonna fight this or run? What a crazy game. I feel like these heroes are sometimes not really engaging. Now Poss gets caught. Mechanism, no mana for it. Could pop his... Oh, he can't get it up. Jumping in on the backlines as Black will pick off the Rubik. And now chasing on to Tame My Wild. But Tame My Wild is hasted. Black just can't seem to lock anyone down in these fights. Now he gets done. Now he gets bursted. And even with the Yasha, the extra move speed, some additional stats is just not enough. He'll go down. Here comes the call down. Here comes the Hellfire. Everybody on the run for VP. They're going to lose 4. And Bruno, it's sort of what I feared, is even with this Yasha and some stats, he's still squishy if he gets caught by a stun. Ends up going down from full HP to none.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did have his treads on agility, so he could have had them on strength. If he to feel a little bit more safe, of course, it's a little bit less damage as well. But, I mean, at this point, he's really, really low HP. And that sings a song that really Night Stalker really likes. When you have a low HP hero, just a couple of voids, some right clicks. Of course, the stun from the Dragon Knight and the Dragon Breath also helps. Now Anti-Mage has his farm delayed a little bit, and now we'll have to see if they decide to contest this Roche, which I don't think they can, or just go back to farming for Black for 10 more minutes.
Yeah, they can't really contest the Roche, and after this comes, VP are tanky enough that I think they'll just bulldoze their way down mid, maybe spread out a bit so you don't get caught by a vacuum RP combo. If you do, it could be trouble for them, but outside of that, I feel like VP can be aggressive, whether it's split pushing, whether it's going to be 5-man Dota. Does play to the strengths of some of these utility heroes for Mouse, but VP are so far ahead in terms of the tankiness of their heroes that I think they might be able to get away with it. As mentioned, the BKB up on the Gyrocopter, still at the 10-second duration, hasn't even used that yet. Of course, Illidan has Aegis, so every single core hero of VP, very hard to kill. Even Nature's Prophet having a mechanism at this point. And I think if you're VP, you just keep the pressure up, keep on farming multiple heroes. As big as Black could have been this game. Oh, we'll see an RP mid. Catches out 2, skewers them back. Where's the follow-up? They get skewered out of Called. Or actually, sorry, their own cooldown being used there to try and zone Mouse off of this. But in the end, Illidan's still diving. He's got that Aegis. Will he be able to get away? Because he probably doesn't want to blow it quite this early. Black, Mono Void is there. Not going to pop it just yet. Would be enough to bring down Illidan, I feel, but doesn't want to blow it on a hero that is Aegis. Still chasing. On the other side, it's an invisible Dragon Knight with the Shadow Blade coming in, looking to do work. They get rid of the Aegis. They still have Monovoid. Black patiently waiting and waiting on the dragon incest, or not incest, but just dragon deaths here all around. Twin-headed dragon dying at the hands of the Dragon Knight. Now Alex in trouble. Alex will take a fall. There is still a Monovoid. I keep on mentioning because it is a lot of damage, but not finding the opening. The RP was there on 2, but VP just too tanky, and now going the other way. Koikfa gonna drop. 4 heroes dead, and Black's just saying, what do I do, man? What do I do?
There's nothing you can do at this point. They're going to take this tier 2 tower, and now they can even go top and get tier 1 and tier 2, or they can go high ground because there's just 2 heroes alive. Of course, the Treant will be up in a second, but what will the Treant do? He doesn't have an ultimate. He doesn't have levels. He has nothing. Nothing.
So, obviously, dragon incest is not the right term, but what do you call it? Some dragon-on-dragon violence, I suppose, there's. The Dragon Knight just showing that he's the master of the twin-headed dragon. A pathetic creature in the end.
Sometimes 1 head is better than 2, I guess.
Looking at gold, looking at about an 8k gold lead now for Mouse Sports, and as far as experience goes, about an 8k experience lead, for VP, for the Dire side, of course, and Mouse in a big hole at this point. And the issue for me is, Black will now go back for a Battle Fury, so he's going to try and farm his way out of this one. But I'm not sure if he'll be able to do that. His farm rate will be decent with a Manta style, as well as a Perseverance, but not as fast as if you're empowered, have a bunch of stacks to farm, and have a Battle Fury. It was an interesting adjustment going for the Manta, but so far the experiment doesn't quite seem to be working. Hard to say if it would have been worse or better with the Battle Fury, but certainly not helping Mouse out of their current position, which is quite a predicament, Bruto. It really still feels like it's 3v5 at best.
It really is, and now that the Night Stalker has an Axe Scepter at his name, there's no way you can dodge him. There's no way you can juke him. There's no way you can actually do anything. And look at that. Tame My Wild just jumps.
There's your initiation. Tame My Wild gonna get qualified. Ice Path Black has the Monovoid. A vacuum pulls them together. Tame My Wild still alive. Dropping low. A blink forward from Black will pick him off. An immediate buyback comes out from Tame My Wild. The RP is here. Catches ars-art. And it was stolen by NS. He turns it around. What a sick RP going the other way with the buyback from Tame My Wild. They want to bring down Black, stunned, and then smacked. And then shot with some rockets and out of his ass, and eventually the gyrocopter will bring him down. Now Koikfa, you can run, but can you hide? He will escape only because the Void was on cooldown. Barely at that, but with no RP, VP maybe even looking to push this lane, and I don't know, I think maybe you just take the tier 1 and the tier 2 top here, but they're pushing him mid, Bruno. They want to try and force something, and looking at our anti-mage, no buyback, it'll be 4v5, arguably 2v5 for the foreseeable future, since the Shakiro as well as the Treant not doing a whole lot right now.
They do have a glyph, and that will stop them for a few more seconds, but that's all they can do. Just a couple Iron Shell on the creeps, maybe a vacuum. And no, they decide to go for the tier 1 top, because it says, well, maybe we can bury base, maybe we can't, but what we can surely do is get these 2 tier 1 and tier 2 for free. And they're doing that.
I think it's the much better play in the end. Sure, you can pressure that tier 3 mid, but just the fact that it's a tier 3 mid at this point in the game means the creeps will die relatively quickly. As for VP, they only have a mechanism, so not really the best in terms of dealing with the AoE coming out from a Twin-Head Dragon. Instead, take the tier 1, take the tier 2. Living Armor, not really being useful at this point in the game. Treant's a great way to remove that, and again, really being countered between the Treants as well as the Rocket Barrage. Hasn't really felt too effective, to be totally honest. Not that I feel the Treant Protector pick is the reason Mouse is in trouble, but the tri-lane they ran just did not work. Illidan will take some damage mid to Black, but Black in the end unable to find the kill. So when it's all said and done, for that particular line of engagements, we see a bigger gold lead for VP. They're now hunting Black in the jungle, and they have such dominant map control. Shadowblade on DK, as well as the Aghanims on the Night Stalker. Good luck. Good luck to anybody except for Black leaving the own base, and even Black has to be very worried about it.
Yeah, just 1 stun is all they need, because after that comes the silence, and at this point it's 6-second silence, isn't it? 7-second silence. So yeah, you will not be able to blink. Of course you have the Manta, but if they force the Manta out because they just burst you with damage or anything, then you have to be super careful, and that's not a position where you want to be if you're an anti-mage. If you're an anti-mage, you want to just jump on people, destroy them with your blades, and just scream with rage.
By the way, NS still has that stolen RP. They could catch out Koikfa here. He'll get voided. Will the RP come in? NS still on the chase. Not committing just yet. Won't even need it. He may just blow it on creeps momentarily. Or on Alex. He'll lift him back up, throw him back in, straight back down, in fact, into a void. Where's that RP? Won't need it. The zap is there. 3 heroes dead. The courier sniped by Black on the back lines, but I think small consolation for that level of kills, especially when VP are looking to break the high ground.
Yeah, and I mean, they totally can right now. Magnus is out for 30 more seconds. Oh no, he buys back. With the buyback, they have to be more careful. They can't clamp like they are right now. But the problem is, if he doesn't catch the Rubik on the RP, the Rubik will RP back.
And it's hard. It's hard to catch him when you have all these other heroes. Like, you really need to catch the Rubik, and I feel at least one or two of the Night Stalker, Gyro, and DK, or they're just gonna turn around and stun and nuke everyone down.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really hard for Magnus to actually get something happening right now, and because these frontline heroes, the Dragon Knight and the Night Stalker, are so strong and so beefy, it's really hard to go past them and try to target the supports first. Black can do it, but Black alone, he only has 1.3k HP, a Manta to his name, and until he gets his next item, he's kind of weak compared to everyone else in the other team.
So Black not going for the Battle Fury and participating in quite a few fights and not having map control or any stacks because his supports can't really leave the base. His farm rate is way slower than what we're accustomed to. Black, I think, a player who will consistently get about 9 to 10 creeps a minute in most games, unless you run the most ridiculously strong aggressive trialing possible, and Mouz runs at least one, a weak one. At least from what I've seen, he always seems to rack up those big numbers. Not the case this game. Yes, he has level 4 in power. Yes, it's effectively a Battle Fury at this point, but joining all those fights and not having the Battle Fury and the cleave means in the end it is a slower farm rate for him. He'll try and catch up, he'll try and keep up, but I just don't think it's a game where Black can do it alone. There's too many heroes that can dish out damage on the side of VP. Too many tanky heroes. If VP are going to win a fight, or if Mouz are going to win a big fight, it's really got to be like a vacuum into an RP, catching out 4 or 5 heroes, not being stolen by Rubik either, and then Black cleaving all over the top of it.
And the best wall ever as well, because
yeah.
I think at this point the wall is probably their biggest offensive tool. Just because the other heroes, the heroes from VP, are so overfarmed compared to them that their illusions will probably deal more damage than the Darkseer, Treant, Jakiro, and Magnus can deal by themselves.
So Black picks up the casual Perseverance, but now maybe thinking I should go for something else, like a Butterfly or a Heart, I imagine. Or just worried about dying and not having buyback. Either way, sitting on 3k gold, not spending that gold yet, he'll teleport to the bottom lane. I wonder, it's so late to even go Battle Fury. I mean, maybe he's just going to say, I'll just sit on the Perseverance. Battle Fury won't do anything for me now.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is that there's not much more you can go with the Perseverance right now. I mean, you have Battle Fury, Lincoln's, which is not ideal for the Anti-Mage, and Refresher, which is definitely not ideal for the Anti-Mage.
Oh, come on. So, double Mono Void, easy fight.
Yeah, double Blink. Blink in, blink out.
And the thing is, VP also have a Scythe device now, so if Black ever gets Scythe, it's definitely dead. If there's the follow-up there, they have the Silence, they have the Void. The Gyrocopter now has picked up a Demon Edge, so Sergio, or ars-art sitting on quite a bit of additional damage, and that's going to actually cancel a teleport. Thinks about TPing mid, decides to back off of that one in the end. So VP just doing a nice job of playing Starvation Dota. Just control the map, farm the enemy jungle, keep some aggressive wards up. Mouz did deward a few of them, but it doesn't really matter when it's an Ags Night Stalker. Even if you have some dewards, even if VP don't have wards up, they have a mobile map pack. That's really all you need.
Yep. And right now, Roshan is about to spawn. I think it's less than 1 minute. So look at how everyone's farming close to Roshan. Virtus Pro, like crazy, is farming the Ancients. Everyone's in the jungle. As soon as that Roshan is up, they'll go there, get the Aces, and probably push for the win.
So Black has actually completed the Battle Fury, and the only thought process at this point, well, actually there's two. One is, if our Magnus hits a gigantic RP on 4 or 5 heroes, maybe we can fight them. The other is, we can't fight, I'm just going to split push, and I think it'll just come down to if his team's able to execute. They will smoke up 4 behind him, looking to try and force the fight mid, but fighting into VP is so hard, and I feel like this is going to make life even harder for Mouz in terms of actually hitting a big reverse polarity. They'll try and fight at the Roche Pit. They may even look to find it, but with Night Stalker having clear vision of 1,800 units, well, it's actually daytime right now and no ultimate. Never mind that. They could potentially pull a fast one here. Wow, with no Ags vision, this could cost VP.
I don't know.
Even then, it's going to be hard. Well, the smoke revealed now, so no surprises here. They'll go in on NS. Potentially Alex will drop his ultimate, but he gets lifted and silenced and then turned around upon. Will die almost immediately. No, the mechanism keeping him alive. Black gets the tier 1 mid, trying to apply pressure to that lane to draw VP back, who continue to not really give two hoots. Go back into the Roshan pit. Tamed by Wild, chopping, or rather breathing away at that one. Apparently his breath hurts quite a bit. Who would have thunk it? Armlet up, just picking those cost-effective damage items. VP still negotiating for an opening here. And VP just won't cooperate and give them one. Mouse Sports fighting and squabbling to try and find that RP. Are they going to go in? Roche is getting low. They'll start with a Surge, look for a Dragon Tail or a Lift, and in the end, Mouse just not able to find their way into this Roshan pit. They waste a bunch of time there. They're not pushing out the lanes, and they give away the Aegis. A massive victory for VP, and to make matters worse, they're going to give up SHD now. Gets lifted back up, thrown back into Barrage, and now a long-range sprout from across the tree line attempted by KSI. Won't find anyone. Posca to TP away. A headlong retreat. A pretty disastrous engagement for Mouse, even though they only lose one because they wasted so much time.
Yeah, and you know who's really, really happy here? Look at ars-art's items. I think in his whole career in Dota 2, he has never had so many items in a hero.
Yeah, he's got a shit-eating grin plastered to his face now, that's for sure. As well he should. He's earned it, Bruno.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's the smarter play. Like, yeah, you could have given more farm to your Night Stalker. It is, after all, you know, it's a hero that can use farm. You mentioned how he doesn't have a steroid. He does have Hunter of the Night. It's not a great steroid. It's not Flat Cannon. Could have benefited from the farm, but I think it just shows a more nuanced understanding of the game and the lineups, where a farm gyro later on will do a lot more for the Night Stalker. So I don't think it's just fun for ars-art. It's also, I mean, it is fun for ars-art, don't get me wrong, but it's also just a smarter play.
Of course it is, but I mean, having 4 very farmed heroes in your team when your opponent has 1.5 always really helps.
Black has 4,000 gold. I won't be surprised if he has to buy back in this fight.
Well, he did buy the Battle Fury, which, yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the RP. It's all about the RP. That's the only shot right now, and actually VP don't have vision. Night Stalker ultimate cooling down for the moment. This just shows the level of confidence they have. No clear vision, no 1800 vision around the Night Stalker. It doesn't even matter. They'll push anyway. If they had it, they'd be even more confident. Probably diving the base.
But, of course, now they're waiting for the next... Look at how quickly they cleared the wave. Just a couple of attacks from the Dragon Breath. And they still have about 40 more seconds.
Look for the RP, but he's got to catch this Rubik as well. He's got to find NS and at least 1 or 2 more. I just don't think he's going to do it. Maybe if it's a vacuum. The vacuum isn't there. A Surge attempted. Not able to get it off. There's your stun on the pause. Now lurking in the back lines is NS still. We're not even seeing an RP. Eventually he'll jump in. He'll look to throw it out. He won't get it off. He just gets blown the freak up. And now Sergio ars-art zoning him off. It's 4 carries basically for this VP team, and they're all healthy. They're all very strong. They're smacking on the racks. They have an RP. They'll buy it back on Qualifier. Even if he finds one, there's still an Aegis at the end of the day. VP's still very healthy, just overwhelming Mouse in this game 1. I mean, I think it's all but booked. I just don't see any comeback for Mouse. And this is without the Night Stalker ultimate. How are you ever going to land an RP once he has it? There's so many instant stuns. Dragon Tail, Telekinesis Lift, it's just not going to happen.
It's a really, really hard matchup for Magnus right now. And Black, of course, he tries whatever he can. He didn't die there, so he still has 4.5k gold. He might just go full item and just trying to get something. Look at what he buys. Yeah, he goes actually for a butterfly.
They need big damage. I mean, you could look at it and say maybe you should get something like, I mean, even
Rapier.
Yeah, you could get a Rapier, but at the end of the day, it's an anti-mage, so a Butterfly is actually, I don't know what the exact math is, but if it's not as good as a Rapier for damage, it's probably pretty close, considering all the additional mana burn you can do in these fights.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's right. With the extra attack speed helps you with the mana burn, but then again, with many BKBs in the playground right now, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. So, we're going to see. I mean, of course they're going all in here. Now Anti-Mage has no more buyback. Of course he will have it in a second, but probably won't want to have just an Eagle Song. He will want to complete his Butterfly. And this one last fight is the only fighting chance that Mouse has. If they lose this one, it's clearly going to be second set of racks and probably game.
It's basically a desperation purchase here. Black, he saved for buyback earlier, thought maybe they could fight mid, but in the end, they just didn't have the opening, and too hard for their Magnus to find those reverse polarity. So go for a BKB now. If he can farm it, then he might actually be able to get one off Quakefoot, but the issue is still, he'll be spotted by that Night Stalker, almost no matter what. You can actually just see from so far away that, I'm just going to show you the vision again. Look at that moving circle. Like, how are you going to find a reverse polarity with Illidan in the front lines? And even if you do, how are you going to catch NS? Seems impossible, but is the Butterfly up? He's got it, Bruno. He's got it now. Can they fight with this? It's the last chance for Mouse. A Blanket. A Skewer will take my wild back, but still pretty survivable. He'll man up back. He pulls them all together, taking some decent damage. ars-art trying to fight his way out of this one. In the end, it's Black on the backlines. Finds one once more. Once NS as well, but he's driven back by the Night Stalker. Living armored up. It's now 4 heroes dead. The rest of them got picked off retreating towards the base. But this looks to be the end. We'll have a pause from NS. Ooh. Not sure what that's all about.
3 out of 5.
So for anyone who doesn't know, the pause rules for the G1 League is each team gets 5 pauses per game. As we saw in our earlier match, that doesn't necessarily mean much if each pause lasts for an hour and a half. But in the end.
Yeah, in the end.
A little bit of trolling, I think, from NS.
That's fair enough. And look at that, Tame My Wild survives. Now they're getting the tower, the Raxis, as I said before. Would Anti-Mage suicide just to kill Tame My Wild? I mean, at this point, he might as well.
It doesn't matter. He'll armlet toggle. He probably won't even die. Black could try for a couple of kills here. He's got the Butterfly and the Manta online. VP now with 2 lanes of Rex. So Bruno, we're going to head into game 2. With Black potentially dying here. No GG officially called yet, so we'll cast the fight, but now he gets hacked. He'll drop fast with this. The armlet as well, bringing him low. He's still alive. He mantas, and he blinks away. He'll live. Not going to find any kills at that. And VP, 2 lanes of Rex up. Pretty much at this point, it will be a 1-0 lead for VP. Just no comeback in sight for Mouz. So Bruno, heading into that game 2, if you're Mouz, do you think it was the picks? Do you think it was the execution? What do they need to do differently to get their footing back under them?
I just think that the lanes didn't work out for them, especially the tri-lane, the aggressive, defensive tri-lane with no real farming hero to be said, and the 2 supports that didn't have an impact in the lane, neither in later in the game. So the Magnus pick was okay, and actually the mid lane was normal against the Dragon Knight. Both got what they wanted, and of course Black's safe farming is always a good thing to have. But in next time they will have to have a more decent aggressive tri-lane if they want to actually make things happen, because otherwise it'll get to the point of a game where just Black and someone else will be trying to do everything.
I think it primarily comes down to the tri-lane, but I do, in the back of my head, I'm kind of wondering, like, what if we got to play this game again and Black just went straight for the Battle Fury, maybe got the Shreds first. He could have had, at this point, pretty much max inventory. Instead, he's got Butterfly, Manta, as well as Battle Fury. At least 1 item, if not too short of what he could have had. Pos gonna get caught out here. It's the second pick off the tree and already fell. Double kill, monster kill for Illidan. It really feels too easy at this point. They force the Magnus back to the base. And on that note, VP gonna claim their 3rd lane of Rack, showing that they are a force to be reckoned with. I think in a lot of people's eyes, there should have been a case for them. Well, Tame My Wild, gonna die at the fountain. A little unfortunate there, but gets the kill at least. There was a case to be made that they are a top 4 team right now, but in the end they didn't get that invite, so VP off to a good start here versus Mouz.
Yep. Really solid performance from them. I really like the fact that they gave so much fun to the gyrocopter. But in the end, yeah. I mean, Gods will have one more argument to say why Treant is weak. I don't think the hero is still really weak, but the thing is that he didn't help at all today.
Oh, Sergio, ars-art just kind of running around for a while, so in the end they will give up 4 heroes. I suppose where there's an RP and an anti-mage, there is a chance Basher picked up on Black. Haven't technically lost this game yet, but are down 2 lanes of Rex with an exposed top Rex. So you have to imagine the Suicide Prophet, the smoke gank of the Rex could be coming for Mega Creeps at any point. If Mouz want to fight on, they certainly can. But they're down by 25k gold, 25k experience. Thinking they still have a shot in this game 1. Bruno, I suppose they do, but it's a very marginal shot at that.
Just stopping the scripts alone will take Black's full attention. There's no one else. Well, maybe the Darkseer can help, but no one can really clear efficiently all the creeps in both lanes that have no racks. So if they're going to make a push attempt, they have to hope for another team wipe and just an all-in mid, something like that. Realistically, I don't think that will happen, but at least they're having fun and they did not give up, which means that deep inside they know they have a chance, they feel they have a chance, and they're trying to exploit it, which is very
noble. Wild's gonna Shadow Blade on in here. Black, Manta style is available. He's got 3 illusions as it is. He could pop his Manta if needed. He'll be okay. And
why didn't Rubik lift?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't know if they would have gotten the kill anyway, but could have made a go at it. Not even attempted in the end.
Well, Black has enough money now to go for... Yeah, that's the thing. Probably selling his magic wand and buying the Bloods would make sense if they're going to fight, because realistically, you're not farming anymore in this game.
Yeah, you could get the Abyssal maybe, but he's got like that 1 more item, and then anything else he gets is just going to come if VP screw up another push.
Yeah, exactly. So...
And if you're VP, I think you just take the next Rosh, you throw 5 bodies at that exposed Rex, which is Glyph won't even be back up. They can get Rosh, they can push top with 5, It's an exposed rack, so there won't even be backdoor protection, and with no glyph, even if they 5-man wipe, they then have mega creeps. And if they have buyback, they have Aegis or Cheese. Good luck to Mouz leaving their base.
Yep, it's going to be tough, but I mean, they feel the obligation to go for it, and now we might see an engagement mid. Look at Santa finishing, not Santa, sorry, Sergio, ars-art finishing his BKB, and now he comes. Alex, you're a sad trio.
Yeah, there's your vacuum, catches out a few. The wall is well deployed to try and zone them out of the fight, but look at the way they just blow up. Gyrocopter ult kills off a few, and now Qualifier forced to skewer away to high ground. Illidan gonna make a beeline, not for the Brax, but for those heroes, hunting with that amazing clear vision at nighttime. 5 heroes grouped up, nobody dead on the side of VP, and here comes the death push.
And here comes the death push. That Jakiro level 8 compared to the level 20 Dragon Knight. It's tough. It's tough being a support these days.
And that's they have tankier support heroes. Doesn't even matter. RP was attempted by Qualifier, but unfortunately unable to get it off because he was actually silenced by the Night Suck at the last second. In the end, Black just cannot 1v5 his way out of this. He'll buy back. He'll try to 1v5 again. He'll actually start by whacking creeps. Probably not the best start to that engagement. Now gonna have to run. GG, well played. Indeed, it was a good game, albeit a one-sided one at that, Bruno. But Mouse Sports, I mean, they went for something a little bit unorthodox with this tri-lane. Didn't work out. Felt like Black could have made different item decisions, but like you said, the primary issue really is a tri-lane didn't stop VP from farming, gave up kills, and didn't even shut down or require much attention from their jungle prophet.
Yeah, and Mouse will have to think of something entirely different for this next game. Because, yeah, Virtus Pro showing that they're really, really strong when they get the picks they like. This new strategy of giving some farm to ars-art paid off really, really well. And now probably they feel really happy and motivated for a game 2, because if they get this win, they advance to phase 2.
Support players rejoice. There is an opportunity for you to get some farm. I saw it from IG. They actually pulled Faith a smoke. He got a smoke from Joe. That happened, and now this happens. We see farm devoted to ars-art, normally known, like you said, for playing a fantastic support, but not getting a dime, not getting a cent, a copper, any sort of gold to his name. This game he gets plenty, guys, and it is, of course, game 1 of a best of 3. It's Virtus Pro versus Mouse Sports. The winner of this best of 3 will move on into our main double elimination bracket, but for this particular match, it's do or die. Loser goes home, winner advances. Will it be VP, who start the series off 1-0, or will Mouse strike back and at least force a game 3? I'm LD, he's Bruno, and we'll find out next.